So, how to perform a successful cord cutting ritual? Well, there are many different ways. A very common one is to take two candles, write your name and the other person's name together in white or silver, tie the wicks together, and then burn the candles to release it. That's one common way. Another, more advanced technique is to perform the Michael the Archangel ritual, where you take a small candle and you place it in front of you, and you envision a stream of light through meditation connecting to your heart cord. So you would sit in whatever posture you'd like, mostly in a room of darkness. Some people prefer light, whatever. Both techniques work. Afterward, you would breathe. I like to chant to Kali or Shiva because they're lords of destruction, facing the west. West is the direction of death because the sun sets in the west. So when you find yourself pining over somebody, you can't stop thinking about them, you don't know why, but then at the same time you feel this depletion of energy. This is an unhealthy cord. This is an unhealthy attachment. Because why? They may be thinking about you as well, most likely, but they have a bad impression of you in mind. So your wonders, your worries are creating a negative cord. You're trying to control, so your ego is producing a negative attachment. So these are called unhealthy cords. And keep in mind that all attachments are agreed upon in the book of life. Before you take the incarnation, you already determined who you were going to meet, for what reason, for what karmic lesson you had to experience with them. It doesn't matter how things ended, and it doesn't matter how they're going to end. It really matters that you establish that connection, because they're emanating a part of you that needs to be worked on, and vice versa. So a very common cord cutting technique is to envision yourself. First, take a few breaths. 10 is good. In the point of darkness, you will literally be able to envision a cord connecting to you. You may see the cord coming out of your back. You may see it coming out of your third eye. You may see it emanating from your heart or your solar plexus or even your reproductive organs. When you start to see it, it'll begin to take form. It'll turn red or blue or even gold. It takes on different forms in your mind's eye. You see, when you see it projecting, you could see it going into the candle, or you see it going into a dark space, as long as you're facing west. In those moments, you breathe into it and you say, I consciously cut this cord that is connecting this person to me in all worlds, in all dimensions, throughout space and time, so that I may grow and become my highest potential, and that they may grow in their highest potential without any malice or negative feelings connected. I release this cord in all dimensions. Amen. Om Kalimaya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Namaha. When you do this, you then envision a sphere, or you call upon Michael the Archangel. You say, Mimini Mikael Mosmoli Mikael Milifnai Mikael Mioharai Mikael Va'al Roshi Mikael. What this says is, Michael, to my left, to my right, before me, behind me, and above me, I ask that you come down and you detach the cords that I have for this particular person. You'll then see his sword cutting or severing the attachment. It begins to disintegrate. You'll see like the fractals of light dissolve, and it disperses into the candle, or it'll disperse into the stream of sight. So that's the most common way. But then what happens is, depending on the severity of the cord, it may wrap itself back around you. If this be the case, you hold yourself in this space of light and you constantly project it. When you do this successfully, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel positive emotions for the person. You won't feel that anger, that residual disappointment, those expectations. That's not going to exist anymore when you do this ritual successfully. So you can try it with a candle. Some people do it with a crystal, and they program the consciousness into the crystal and then bury the crystal. That's one technique. Or you could literally stream that channel into the candle. After you fulfill the technique, you simply blow out the candle. And I've seen magic effects with this. I mean, like instantaneously, the people will try to call you right away. They'll reach out to you. They'll use other accounts to try to spy on you. They'll show up at your doorstep. They will, call you frantically or manically. They'll say, I felt something, No, they're just feeling the detachment on an ethereal and a subatomic level. So they're feeling it. They're no longer able to thrive off of your good energies anymore because it creates a vampiricism. It's unintentional and sometimes intentional depending on where your desires are. So you got to make sure you have your ego in check. Cord cutting techniques, they take a lot of practice, but when you get them right, utilize the breaths. Enter that astral dimension and do what's necessary to sever those negative attachments. And I promise you will feel stronger, you will feel faster, you will feel sharper, your mind will feel more focused. You won't feel that manic energy, manic depressive energy. We all go there, we all have been guilty of this. Another technique is utilizing the 72 names of God. I like them because they draw upon the angels of astrology. So it doesn't matter what the astrological sign of the person was. When you do the 72 angels of God, you meditate seeing like 2 pyramids, and you'll chant the names Vaheva Yolayo Sayote Alame Meheshi Lahe Aka Kaheta, and you keep going down all the way till you get to Vamebe Yohehe, the last angels. This is cool. If you can even do it with the 99 names of Allah. You can say all the names of Allah or the Shahamfarij, the 72 names of God in the Hebrew system. Both techniques work, but you must envision yourself in a like a Merkaba, a 3-dimensional triangle, because those are sacred names of God and they are dimensionalized as such, you see? When you do this, the 72 names or the 99 names of Allah, both coming up to a 9, will literally sever the attachments and reconstitute the establishments. In other words, it'll recalibrate your frequency so that you don't have the same energetic attachments to a person. When you have a child with a person, it's a little more difficult because the child has a connection. When this happens, you need to make sure you have a healthy boundary with the person. You see, you have to make sure you're not letting them in your house. You have to make sure you're keeping it at a respectable distance, because the child's attachment will continue to enhance the cord and it'll continue to reattach the cord that you no longer want to deal with. So this is my video on cord cutting. Again, make sure you go into a dark space or a space that's facing the west. Go into your mind's eye and visualize. Sometimes the cords are different colors. Sometimes they're yellow, sometimes they're orange, sometimes they're green. Find where they are. In Reiki, we do jakikiri. So we'll see where it's emanating from and we'll literally slice it. But always make sure you give thanks to the attachment. I know that's the hard part, but give thanks to the experience, because I assure you it will build character. Don't get mad at who you were or the role that you had to play in life, and don't get mad at their role that they had to play in your life, because it's facilitating the necessary change that you need to enhance your individuality, you see? So don't get mad. Everything's beautiful. You chose the incarnation. You chose the contracts. Peace and love, my spirit family.